Welcome back to Business Unconventional. I'm Dean Rotbart.
And I am David Biondo.
And this is the fourth segment of our literary show. It's interesting that we're doing books on radio.
Yeah, and you got your brother here.
I have my brother here. It's pure nepotism, because if he wasn't my brother, he wouldn't have had a 6-page spread in the Parents magazine this month. His book wouldn't be number one on Amazon's bestseller list for parenting. The New York Times wouldn't be offering him, which they are, a blog spot, a guest spot on their Motherload blog. It's
quit beating your chest.
No, it's all because he knows me.
Right.
Anyway, Harley, Dr. Rotbart, welcome to Business Unconventional.
Thank you for having me, David.
Now you've written this.
Harley.
You've written this fantastic business book. It's for busy executives and entrepreneurs who never have enough time.
But it has a twist.
They have exhausting days.
Well, of course.
And your book, which is just doing so well out there, it's actually just been published, is about optimizing their activities, earning the highest possible return on their time spent. And there is a twist, David. What is the twist?
Well, the twist is that it's not something that you would think would be work-related.
Well, it's because it's a time management book for busy parents.
Right.
And it just happens to be that there are a lot of busy parents out there that are business owners, entrepreneurs, and career professionals.
So this is when they get home.
And so you get this book to land on two charts. You get it on parenting charts and like Motherload blog for the New York Times, and you get it as a business book, which fits with Business Unconventional, correct?
Well, it's a nice adaptation. The buzz in professional circles is work-life balance, and the goal of No Regrets Parenting is work-life balance. It doesn't necessarily require that you change your hours at work. It doesn't necessarily require that you job share. It requires, No Regrets Parenting does, that when you're with your kids, you're really with your kids. That is, you take advantage of the time that you are already spending with them to spend it in a higher quality way.
I think that this book offers a lot of comfort to busy work parents because it doesn't make them feel guilty for the busy part of their career life. It basically says you get a pass on that, right? You basically tell them they can set aside their guilt when it comes to quantity of time.
Right. The key of No Regrets Parenting is not to capture every possible opportunity. There are a lot of opportunities that you're going to miss. You're not going to be able to be at every basketball game. You're not going to be able to be at every even holiday pageant. But you're going to be at more than you otherwise would have had you not been conscious of the time that you're spending with your kids, had you not been conscious of synchronizing your calendars with your kids' calendars.
What's interesting, David, is my initial thought was it's a book called No Regrets Parenting. It's probably going to be primarily for parents who still have young kids. And there is a great deal in the book for those parents, for parents who have young kids. But in fact, No Regrets Parenting is really a lifelong contract, isn't it? I mean, you've been writing about, you have at noregretsparenting.com, you have a blog. Part of what you wrote about on the blog, it caught the attention of the New York Times, is parenting where your kids are off in college and you're still having to figure out how to be a effective no regrets parent.
Parenting is a lifelong contract, not just no regrets parenting. There's no question about that. And the lesson, I think, for all of us who have launched and almost launched kids is that the problems don't get fewer, they just get harder. They get more complicated. And if you've established a pattern of trust and a pattern if you've established a relationship with your kids when they were young, it will continue during the time that they're launched in college and beyond, and that relationship will continue to grow between you and your kids.
Well, let's start, Harley, with parents who have children that are still at home, young, maybe not even in school yet. One of the examples you provide in the book is pajama walks. Tell us what pajama walks are.
Well, there's a crisis in parenting that every parent of young kids knows, and that is getting them calmed down and ready for bed. And this is an opportunity to scream at your kids, to discipline your kids, to threaten your kids.
Well, it's at the end of your long day. I mean, you're already at the end of your rope. You've put in a hard day. You come home, you've gotten dinner on the table. It's bedtime, and the kids are out of control, and you're out of gas.
Right. So the strategy that I think works the best is to put the kids in pajamas, brush their teeth, get them ready for bed, but they're by no means ready because they're still in hyper mode, and then take everybody on a walk. If it's winter, you have to bundle them up, and sometimes you can't go outside. But if it's at all doable, take them for a walk in the neighborhood. This is not a time for snacks. Remember, they've already brushed their teeth. This is not a time for throwing the baseball around or kicking the soccer ball down the block. This is calm time. For kids who are walking, that's great. For kids who are in strollers, that's great. But a couple times around the block, and they are in an outdoor air trance, and they're ready to be moved to bed, and you have decompressed that moment, and you've turned it into quality time with your kids.
So this is almost like a tranquilizer.
This is almost like a tranquilizer. And in fact, David,
Those work for the parents, too.
Right.
That's right. And in fact, David, much of No Regrets Parenting is about calm and tranquil. It is converting what I call the 3 evil Ds into the 3 good Ds of parenting, because parenting is 3D parenting. Here's the scene. You have a meeting at work. You have to be there at 9 o'clock, and you're in the drop-off line for your kids at 8:30. It takes you 25 minutes to get to work. The kids have to pop out of the car. And just as you pull up to drop your kids off, they remember that today is Funny Hat Day, that they didn't do their homework, that today is the day that they're going to confront the bully on the playground, and they forgot to tell you about it at dinner. The crisis of the moment arises when you need them to get out of the car. And that's when the explosions typically occur. That's when parents start to bribe their kids. They distort the magnitude of the situation. They deceive their kids by making promises about what's going to happen if they just get out of the car. We'll stop for ice cream on the way home. And all those are good if you want to lose trust between yourself and your kids. If you are not interested in maintaining an honest and close relationship with your kids, you do that in the morning. It'll get the kids out of the car. But the 3 good Ds of parenting are to defer, decompress, and deliver. Let your kids know that what they're telling you is really important to you, but you can't solve it right now. Right now is not the moment, but you promise that you're going to set aside time tonight as soon as you can, and you're going to sit together, just the 2 of you, and you're going to solve this problem. Now, maybe the problem has to be solved this moment when they're leaving the car. You can't fix it. You'll apologize for it later. But deliver on your promise. Meet with the kids afterwards when you've promised them that you will. Build the trust of the kids, and they'll know that when you promise them something, you will deliver, and you decompress the situation. You make it more tranquil. You make it more placid, and you take away the stress of that morning.
Lots of drama.
Harley, the book could have been 3D parenting, because those really do sum it up. If you're just joining us, tuning in, we're talking with Dr. Harley Rotbart, who has lots of great credentials. He is Vice Chair of Pediatrics at the University of Colorado School of Medicine and Children's Hospital Colorado. He's the author of 3 books. He is a dad, a husband, but most importantly, he's my brother. So that's his proudest. That's his proudest credential.
He seems to have a good answer for diffusing drama in such a way that it just disseminates right.
Harley basically looked at what I didn't do right and wrote a book about the opposite. But the book is No Regrets Parenting. It is time management magic for stressed out parents. Harley will be talking about the book and signing copies. This is a great business gift, and it's a great parenting gift at Tattered Cover Bookstore in Highlands Ranch. That's on March 9th. David will be there at 7:30 in the evening. And so come out to Tattered Cover, which is who we had featured earlier on this program, Kathy Langer. And it's a great way to support Tattered Cover.
Buy all your books at Tattered
and
Cover.
Do all of this. I want to talk about a few other places where people can go. Harley every week posts a podcast that's available on the iTunes store. It's the No Regrets Parenting podcast. It's under 5 minutes of wisdom and wit, and it's something that you can easily subscribe to. There's an RSS feed if you'd like to get some more information that way. He has his main website at noregretsparenting.com, and this month in Parents Magazine, we have it in front of us. There's a beautiful 6-page spread in Parents Magazine all about no regrets parenting and some
regrets. I've had a few.
Yeah, a few too many, and some great things in here. One of the other items in here that you talk about in the Parents Magazine piece is taco night. What's taco night?
Taco night is a metaphor, really, for a special dinner once a week that I think parents and kids should coordinate together. It sets aside one night. It can be sushi night, it can be taco night, it can be Chinese food night, but it's one night that the kids and the parents look forward to all week, that everybody prepares for together. The dinner is prepared for together. Everybody sits down and eats together, as they should every night. Dinner is the most important meeting of your business day. Because it has to be with your family.
Hey, make a pizza,
And make a pizza night. Make a pizza night.
Well,
that's exactly right.
We are going to have to close this here, but I'll tell you what, since you're in the studio and since I like you and you're my brother, what we will do is we will continue this conversation, and people can go again to the iTunes store, search for No Regrets Parenting, and in addition to this segment, David, we will go on for maybe another 10 or 15 minutes and give you some more great ideas. Again, time management magic for stressed out parents. The book is No Regrets Parenting. It's in bookstores now, and Harley has promised he will help me do the dishes at my house for every book I sell.
And as soon as you get it in your hands, you're just going to become relaxed.
Tranquil.
It is
tranquil, David.
It is an antidote to guilty parenting. So, Harley, thanks for being here. Congratulations about the success of this book.
Thanks very much. Thanks for having me.
Thanks, Harley.